This is pretty... It reminds me kind of the ending of Xenoblade Chronicles. Which, personally, I don't have any strong opinions about it either way. I don't hate it, I don't love it. Fight me. So what now, Ryan? Because you have a gun, and you have yourself, and you came out here to be by yourself. I can only imagine what you intended to do here. Now, we have some fucks to discuss. And you know how I mentioned before, with Matthew and Sophia, we had the gold, silver, bronze hair mechanic. Well, now it seems like we have gold, silver, and platinum. And I'm guessing that platinum is shinier? So I'm going to say that Ashley has the platinum hair and Ryan is silver because he's the weakest of the three of us. You see, Ryan, we care not that you'd understand, you arse prick in a fuck basket full of twisted nipples and an arse-mongering fish. What the fuck did I just say? I'm totally killing the mood of this ending. No, he doesn't remember anything, and that's how we got here. Yes, because you're a fucking fuck who fucked fuckily, and we cannot let you fuck fucking. Those weren't valid sentence. Grammar, yeah. Yeah, because we're that fucking good. Because she had some sense of morality to her, unlike you dick butt. Surely it should be you, Rex, and I, and squeaky door in the background. I don't know if that's going to come up on the recording, but I can certainly hear it. See, Ryan, you can't see the forest for the trees, which is ironic because we just came out of a forest. But the whole point of science is to have your results thrown back in your face repeatedly so that you keep going until you get the right answer. Yeah, exactly. You have such a one-track mind that you couldn't possibly understand why they did what they did, because they were considering ethics, they were considering people abusing the system, people using the system for purposes other than for which it was intended. They restricted the system because people like you exist, quite frankly. And she had a sense of morality, and she understood love, so that's why she did what she did. Well, perhaps her importance to her loved ones is a bit more important than an arbitrary score that dictates her value and worth to a scientific project that has no mind and soul of its own, much like yourself. She wanted to be a person, not a robot, not that you'd understand. She explained everything, and I wanted to dub it, and I couldn't. She was considerate. She felt things. She was a human. Well, that's racist, I suppose, but human as opposed to robot. Not human as opposed to other species or whatever. You know what I mean. Again, people like you and Bill, but you're the focus here. You're the arse. Did you have something to do with that by any chance? Jarring Thud Fit's inheritance? Titty Poo? I think that was a place in like a book or a film or something. Well, I've said it now, it's been thrown into the ether, not to be confused with Club Titty Boo from Mother 3. But that's not technically its official name because it never got an official name because it was never translated and... Enough. Back on topic, please. Oh. Oh-ho-ho. So he's just admitted his own guilt, then? His own complicity with Bill being murdery. It was you. Go full Professor Layton on his ass. Yep, no surprises there. You were that fucking jealous and bitter. This is essentially the classic woman-scorned story. Well, no. Man-scorned, but he got scientifically friend-zoned. And he was trying to be Mr. Dr. Fedora Pants, PhD. Well, what a nice guy you are. Or should I say, nice guy, because you can't spell your surname correctly. Well, you are the wrong person because you do this sort of thing. Oh my. So you did know all this time then? Well, it doesn't really change anything, you are still an arse, and your behaviour is still inexcusable. Why would Bill know about that, though? Yeah, you've been a test subject this entire time, including tests on our own part. Even Ashley has outfoxed you, and you don't even seem to understand that. Well, surely by trying to influence your emotions by dropping these bombshells on you, that in itself means that by being aware that Judd played you for a fool, you're allowing Bill to play you for a fool, which makes this immediately sound very Gravity Fallsy. So, you played Bill while Bill was playing you. So you really are just a really bitter, twisted, fedora-wearing fuck of an asshole. Dear oh dear. Whoa, wait, what? Seriously? Okay, I probably would have found that out through the DS game, but that seems a bit of a random thing to mention out of nowhere here. Because you have no soul, you tried to play everyone, and look who got played in the end. Well, you are very much of an asshole. Yep, that doesn't surprise me, given the way everything's gone. So, wait, so you actually didn't kill Jarring Thud Fit's dead guy then? Then, well that raises a few questions, surely. Well, that's not a surprise in and of itself. Why? What was the point of those motions? Well, what are you going to do now? Seriously, what does it matter if you shoot him now? Because you've got a witness and she's most likely to get away. And if you shoot yourself, then congratulations, you played yourself. So... no, because I don't think you're capable of feeling anything. You're not logical. You're not rational. You're a fucking mess of a soulless human being. Damn right, Ashley. You tell that asshole. Again with the Nintendo Capri Sun memes. I suppose, in a sense, because Ryan had almost the same childhood as Ashley, Ashley's instantly almost a Mary Sue of a better character because she lived through it without having to have her memories erased. Well, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So, even from beyond the grave, Soko is able to fight back. So... what's the main takeaway here? Well, for your own selfish ends, obviously. Yeah, please do, because you make no sense. You're so self-centered, and you think you're so perfect, and you're not. Well, you failed there immediately. Well, that wasn't going to happen, was it? Because you failed to take into account Dr. Robbins' own plans. Well, that was never going to work in the first place. Perhaps he's too nice. Not that you'd understand, of course. Because he had no reason to. And of course he'd have initial doubts, obviously, but he'd have no reason to immediately assume everything you say is a lie. For fuck's sake, Ryan, what part of nobody thinks like you do you not understand? You wouldn't be able to. Like, there is no conceivable outcome where you kill Ashley without killing Dr. Robbins. But that's true. You're assuming that revenge is even a factor in this in the first place, and it isn't. Okay, that's slightly violent. Wow. That is dark, but I see where he's going with this. The moral's going to be that he rose above it. Damn right. And for fuck's sake, computer, now is not the time to insist on a fucking support tune-up whatever. So... See, this is why you don't give it such an ambiguous name. Because it, like, he wanted another could mean so many things. But she was merciful, and he's honouring that. And again, it's something that you couldn't hope to understand. Of course he wouldn't. He would not exact revenge on you, because that's not what Sayoko would want. Good boy. Now fuck off. Yeah. Yes, you are. Really, Richard? You're gonna let him play you like this? Oh, by the way, congratulations on getting your DNA all over that gun. But at least you're proving a point. He's not gonna do it. I don't believe he actually ever would pull the trigger whether Ashley said anything here or not, but, I mean... Ashley, you play the protagonist, because this is your story after all. Still, it's a good thing we were here, because just in case my theory here wasn't fitting, but there you go, you arsfuck, try to wrap your head around that. You just received mercy by someone who has no reason to show you mercy. Really? This island isn't even that big. Camera, you're exaggerating. Still, I appreciate what's happening here, because showing him mercy will hurt him even more, even though we're not trying to twist the knife here, but on so many levels it proves that we're the better person and that we've risen above this. Oh, get fucking wrecked. So what now? Bearing in mind, as I said, this island isn't actually that big. He could easily dive into the lake and survive. But he's alive, he's confessed to everything. We can just turn him into the authorities and wash our hands of the situation. Not to be cold and clinical and heartless about it or anything. Nah, we're better people than that. Although, we do seriously need to report him to the police for everything he's done. Just saying. Now come on, Don't ruin this nice scenery with your general arsiness. Could it be because he cared? Because he didn't want you to suffer, and... yeah. He wanted you to stop crying, and you've basically just... You've taken the gift that Judd gave you by trying to heal your wounds, and thrown that back in his face and just caused even more damage. So... there's nothing I could say that hasn't been said by the game, honestly. And that's that, I suppose. We've only been at Lake Juliet for one full day, but... I mean, even then, we only arrived in the afternoon, so it's not even been a full 24 hours yet, and we're already leaving. But then again, we have that Battle of the Bands to get to, don't we? So, in a strange way, everything's wrapped back around, and in more ways than one, everyone from Lake Juliet can get on with living their lives. They can let go. That's an interesting thing here. Definitively letting go of the past, of, you know, Ashley letting go of her qualms about her father, and her father letting go of his lingering memories and hatred and desire to do something about Sayoko's death. Everyone could just let go and move on. I think that's a rather beautiful ending. He promised that he would. I mean, he's known for lying, so I'm not going to say he actually would, but I think in this case, he might. He might actually. But that's nice, and it's also nice that the way the two of them are responding to, you know, Ashley's not ready to talk about it yet, which is fine. They're not going to, you know, they're not going to erase her memories so she'll feel better. They're learning to cope with it. I'm not saying that all PTSD can be coped with, but in this instance, you know. And also, yeah, that's nice. JC Valley's doing the right thing. not MJ Labs, Crusoe Resort is finally being absolved. So, when all's said and done, as I said, everyone can move on, everything's back to the way it should be. I might end up splitting this episode, come to think of it, because I've been going for over 45, well no, almost 50 minutes now if you include that first bit. Hello, phone. I thought we'd heard the last from you. Who is it? Oh, Bob! Why? Why Bob? Okay, what's he done? What have you asked him to do? Supply salmon rice burgers for the police when Ryan gets there? That was... okay, I pulled that completely out of my arse. So what did he do then? Go on, enlighten us. Well, would you mind telling us what? Because surely you've learned after the past 24 hours. It's not good to be keeping secrets at this point. So, do we have some resolution for that plot thread then? Go on, do share. So there we go, something did hit the water, so immediately his chance of survival has rocketed right up. I'm surprised they allowed it to... I'm surprised they were allowed to translate that as Chinese whispers, because yes, that's an accurate expression, but surely that's considered not politically correct. That does seem like a little bit of an unsatisfying conclusion, because it could have just been him diving into the water and swimming to the forest. So we don't actually know what hit the water then. But that said, as I recall, they actually don't tie up all that many threads with Matt's story and Matt's father, because the company who made this game had originally planned to do something with him in some sort of next game, but they never got to do that because I think the company dissolved or something. The point is, they weren't able to create this next game, and so the story of Matt's father may never go fully told. And oh, it was a joke about... That's why we never really got any resolution with Princess either. We just know that Elizabeth went to look for her. Might that be you now? Oh, it's Ranger Asgore. Haven't seen from you in a while. What brings you here? Because we have a bus to catch. Oh yes, you were kind of not really a key player in this entire story in the grand scheme of things, but... I mean, thanks for existing anyway. I would have liked... Come to think of it, I would have liked a... Instead of a New Game Plus, like once you beat Ashley's story, you then get to play through Matthew's story as part of this game. Because that would be... That'd be a nice bonus, but sadly it couldn't be happen. So Matthew's story has kind of been fixed, I suppose. We just didn't really get the full scoop on it from our side because, well, we did kind of have slightly more pressing matters to deal with. Well, at least you got some form of resolution anyway. And so in the same way that Crusoe Resort has been absolved, Matthew's been absolved of any accusation of wrongdoing here, because he had the right... His heart was in the right place. Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. That's like bookends, considering that she got so pissed off with us when we first saw her the very first time, for exactly that reason. Like, how dare you accidentally end up in my gardens? Or rather, on the very border of my gardens without actually going into any of them. So, again, nice resolution. Oh, everyone's getting their happy endings as... It was her daughter and oh, everything's happy. Just in time after we healed her soul in the previous day. It definitely wasn't in the last episode. So that's nice. Everyone got their happy endings in the end, which is weirdly serendipitous, but whatever. We helped her with her internal conflicts, and so Charlotte will be happy to see her daughter come back, rather than being all bitter about it like she would have been had we not intervened. So, we've done good. Nice going there, Ashley. Which, I mean, it was only partly your doing, but still. And off we go, turning our backs on Lake Juliet. For the last time in the story. Probably not the last time in Ashley's life, though, to be fair. I was about to say, oh, it's the Shakira Bridge. No, it's the Irolosco Bridge, get good. Is the clock gonna go off one last time just to, as if to say goodbye? Because that wouldn't surprise me, because story writing. It's because he's near the mermaid statue. Did you not pay attention to Ranger Asgore's ramblings? Oh, Princess, we get some sort of resolution with you as well. We might be here for a while. I will have to split this into 2 episodes. Yeah, thanks for, like, the one thing you did. Woof to you too. Okay, yep, well, that confirms that Ashley will come back to Lake Juliet at some point. We just never actually get to see that happen because game companies and dissolution and stuff. That's dissolution, not disillusion. As in, dissolution. Words, 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 words. Is this one last puzzle for us? Go and find Matthew? He's probably right where we were told he would be, just saying. Elizabeth, I still don't like you. I mean, we've seen much more despicable people than you during our time here. But it's not our fault you were a fucking arse for like 90% of this story. So, you're welcome, I think? Is that the right response here? So even you got a happy ending, and I'm still not convinced you deserve it personally, because I still don't like Elizabeth. I'm glad, certainly for Rex, that he's getting a happy ending, but Elizabeth, as a person, I'm glad she's getting a resolution here, but at the same time, I still think she's a horrible, horrible arse party. Well, at least you've forgiven him as well, the lovable scamp. What are you doing over there? You tit weasel. And so we're back with the bronze, silver, double gold mechanic here, although Elizabeth's hair is yellower, and Ashley's father's is a bit more hay or strawy or something. That's the point. How does Ashley have white hair? Did she bleach it? Because Sayoko had black hair, Dr. Robbins is that weird kind of blonde. We've answered so many questions, but this one remains. Oh, and that's true. Matthew did promise he would just stay for one day and then go home, and that's exactly what he's done. Good for you, Matthew. And yeah, we already heard about this part. Oh? Really? What serendipitous timing indeed. Well, that's nice at any rate, because, you know, plot resolution and happy endings and stuff. Oh yeah, we got rather adamant about that, as I recall. And then it just sort of happened without any input from us, but I mean, hey, we helped you get through it, so I'm happy to take credit for that one. So everyone's nice and friendly. Actually, that's another bookendsy point, because this is where we had that big conflict with Elizabeth the first time, where Dr. Robbins intervened and took the wrong side with this exact setup of characters, as I recall. So again, with the bookends and the plot resolution and the general happy endings. Oh, don't fancy it up with your Italian. I still don't like you, Elizabeth, but you're not as insufferable as you were, so I'll give you credit for that. Anyone else want to stall us on our way to catch the bus? Because, you know, Harry Sands, perhaps? Sophia? Gina? Mike? The toilet?
The toilet.
Again, stolen memes, I apologize. Let me guess, it's not goodbye, it's so long, it's see you soon. Yeah, that's the gist here. That is true. I suppose we have completely forgotten that this is a campsite after all. Are you going to say something funny like, don't attempt to barbecue? Ah! That's the tone of punchline I was anticipating. And then there's... I wonder how many games end like this, just panning up to a clock tower that presumably chimes out some sort of successful bell noise. So I feel like that happened in Majora's Mask as well. Not that I've Let's Played that. I might if they ever make like a Master Quest version of it, but for the moment, nah, it's overplayed. Liberty... Oh my god, I forgot. That is such an American name, holy hell. But yep, that's our story. That's another Code R. It's as good as over at this point, there is no more gameplay. And there's one last advert for Cool Pop, which has been a pervading entity throughout the story. We never got to recycle those last few cans, and I'm slightly upset about that, because I could have sworn we had one last chance to do that before the end of the story, but how could we have gone back to the recycling machines while we were in JC Valley? How are we supposed to leave? And, oh look, it's a character montage like in Banjo-Kazooie, that's nice. So yes, this was another Code R. Please tell me you enjoyed it, because I don't know how to feel. Because there were several points throughout this project where it felt like a chore to record it, not because I didn't enjoy the game, because I've enjoyed the game throughout, no questions asked. It's just sometimes it felt like, I have to go and record for half an hour, and that's half an hour of my life I'll never get back. But like that's not because I begrudge playing the game, because it is an enjoyable game, and I don't regret Let's Playing it. So I'd like to think that it ended up being an enjoyable experience in the end. Apart from that one puzzle, oh, there's another can of Cool Pop. I'd like to imagine that, I made it adequately entertaining. That last task, well, that wasn't even a task puzzle in the right sense, but that last puzzle involving the task notwithstanding, I'd like to think that I've made it entertaining, and it is a text-heavy game, because there's a lot of story to get through, and I want to say that I did it justice, but the ultimate deciding factor here is, well, did you personally enjoy it? Because this is a relatively rare game. Oh, don't show him in the credits, we don't like him. I'd like to think I've done this game justice because it's a rare game, it never got released in North America, so I'd like to think that I've shared a world with some of my viewers that they might not otherwise have experienced, and people we never met in person. I would say the dead ones, but actually only 2 of them are dead. And then some of them don't really need credits, question mark? Ah. Oh, hello. Told you she had black hair, so Ashley, what the hell? If she dyed her hair, then she'd at least have, like, roots coming through or something. This has been another Code R, Journey into Lost Memories, and here are the credits, so look at how Japanese this game is, though. I think my only regret with this series, really, is not having been able to dub Sayoko's speech in that one episode. But even if I'd had the right timing on screen with going through the text boxes, I still wouldn't have been able to necessarily accurately speak her speech, because I couldn't read all of the text, because some of it was just too low resolution to be able to read. So, with that being said, I want to believe that I did this game justice. It is a rare game, not many people are familiar with it. There aren't that many Let's Plays of it floating around as far as I know. Admittedly, it's not an easy game to Let's Play. It's an easy one to do a walkthrough of, but to talk and to have personality, to have running jokes, to commentate, it's not easy. From personal experience, I can tell you, it's not easy. And of course, there are some bullshit puzzles, like the one with the mirror, where occasionally this game does throw a curveball. It does do something that's not really all that okay. But for the most part, it has these 1 or 2 problems, but most of the game is gorgeously presented, gorgeous sound, gorgeous art style, really clever puzzles when it applies itself to it, actual proper European localization, holy hell, Nintendo never does that, to the point where My Nintendo uses the dates exclusively in the American system, even though Europe doesn't write the dates arse backwards. When Japan writes them like that, they put the year first, and no, My Nintendo just does it the American way because fuck the rest of the world, am I right? But here's not the time and the place to get all upset about that. And I do believe that the European version of this game does have German, French, Spanish, and Italian versions of it, like, as part of the game. You set the console to a different language, you'll get the game in a different language. That's how European games work. And obviously those are the people responsible for that, and just the artwork here, the story. Admittedly, the story doesn't have the most possible satisfying outcome, because there are some loose ends they deliberately didn't tie up with the intent of making another game, and that other game never actually happened. But for what they intended to do with this game, what they intended to do hereafter, they did really, really well. So overall, yeah, I don't regret Let's Playing this game. It was difficult to do, and also Satoru Iwata, may he rest in peace, that brilliant man. It's not been an easy experience to Let's Play it, but it's been fun, it's been worth it, and I'm glad that I've been able to share this world with you. So Ah yes, the Battle of the Bands, that one last plot thread. Well, that's nice. That does make it look like there's more than one ending and there's more than one character route to go through, but there's not. That's the entire game. So I think it's safe for me to say now that I have been, and will continue to be, tessellating Hexagons, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me on this journey into lost memories.